hello, I'm Robert. I work for the NCC. No, this is the other one. This is the other one. So a lot of abbreviations there. RIPE NCC, SSO, 2FA. I'm not going to expand all of those because some of that is French. But, so the RIPE NCC has been doing what we call RIPE NCC Access, which is basically a single sign-on mechanism for the services that we run. For almost all, there are some exceptions, but so almost all of the services are backed by this. So if you interact with the RIPE NCC services, including Atlas, the LIR portal, RIPE Stat, training, RIPE meeting, and whatever else I forget, they use basically the single sign-on system behind it. That was added in 2012. Before that, Atlas had its own users, which is kind of clumsy if you have to log in 5 different times for 5 different services. So, as you know, SSO is a thing. We added two-factor authentication in 2014, so not much later. This was based on TOTP. So this is the, you scan the QR code once, and then time goes on, and then you get a different 6-digit code every 30 seconds. When you log in, it's not enough to use your username and password, but you also have to add the TOTP. So that's actually very good for security. If your machine is compromised, there's a keylogger or whatever else that steals your username and password, that's not enough to break into your account if you're actually using a different device for TOTP. Some users use the same device, so then kind of the benefit is reduced. But you get the idea. Most of you know what I'm talking about, so it's just there. It has been optional in RIPE NCC Access up until, that's the next slide. It has been optional for a while, so some people just, no, we don't care about it, which is kind of scary because you are using RIPE NCC SSO to interact with your resources as well. So you can manage your resources, you can manage RPKI, that's the one that I forgot, with that same login. So it was highly recommended to use two-factor even before, but not everyone used that. You could also share it between different people. So if you have a kind of a role account that you log in and your colleagues log in with the same one, which is really not recommended, but it's possible, then you had to do some kind of song and dance to share that. So since end of March this year, it's now mandatory. You have to use two-factor authentication if you want to use RIPE NCC SSO, so Atlas, RPKI, LIR portal, all of those things. If you have not gone through this song and dance, the next time you hit the RIPE NCC services, you have to log in SSO. Then the screen will say, "Okay, activate it right now," and verify that you did. Otherwise, you can't go on. So if you haven't seen that and you expect that you will log in at some point, I recommend prepare for this. But then this talk will help you because from now on you can have multiple devices associated. I'm not entirely sure if that was at the same day or not, but as of right now, you can have multiple devices, you can have multiple TOTP devices associated. And as of 2-3 weeks ago, maybe, now you can also use FIDO keys. So we are not using the biometrics, we are using the passkey functionality. But if you were unhappy about the fact that you have to fish out your other device and then copy code from one to the other, and you know about FIDO, then you know that this is actually really nice. You can just plug it in, put the finger on it, and then be done with it. Whether two-factor was used by particular users, and in this context, members of the same LIR, was visible for the admin of that LIR even before. So the idea was that the admin, which is usually a single person or a few people, but not all of the contacts, could verify if those people are actually using two-factor, and then they could encourage them to use it or have at least the overview. Now, since two-factor is mandatory now, this is kind of it became an inactivity detector, right? So the admin can see, like, if you don't have two-factor turned on, that means that you didn't log in recently. So it's kind of useful. But it's probably going to be removed because otherwise, you have to use two-factor. So that's just it. And then the future, we will add more functionality. We will have, in particular, I think the biometrics part. So it's the other functionality of FIDO keys, so to speak. And we're going to use that as an internal OIDC provider for the other services. And that's what I wanted to share with you. There's one question, at least one.
Hello. Can you go back one slide? Yeah. So, are you taking suggestions from the room of what authentication methods would be most interesting?
I'm happy to collect your feedback and convey that to the team who does it, and then defer that to their judgment. Yes, is the short answer.
Thank you, Robert.
All right, this is kind of just a heads up. You know. It's a heads up, two-factor is there. You can use it today, but now you have to use it today. So